of Technology, Philippines, and I have the privilege of serving you as your Master of Ceremonies for today's workshop. As we wait for our program to begin, kindly ensure that your Zoom display name reflects your institution and your full name. Your microphone remains muted throughout the workshop unless invited to speak. You use the chat box responsibly for questions and comments. And kindly prepare your notebook as we are about to learn from one of the leading experts in physical education and sport pedagogy. Once again, welcome everyone. It is my pleasure to officially welcome you all to this ACPES International Online Workshop. Today's gathering brings together educators, researchers, coaches, practitioners, graduate students, and professionals who share one common vision to continuously improve physical education and sport through innovation, technology, and values-based education. This international workshop is organized by the ASEAN Council of Physical Education and Sports and Health in collaboration with the institutions within the ACPES network. We have Kasitsart University, Thailand, Shinakarimirot University, Thailand, Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Indonesia, College Binaguna Medan, Indonesia, Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology, Philippines, Universitas Negeri Semarang, Indonesia, and Mahasarakham University, Thailand. Each institution has contributed through planning, promotion, coordination, practical engagement, technical support, workshop management, and so that we can make this international event a possible one. And will allow me to recognize the dedicated ACPES workshop team whose commitment has made today's workshop a reality. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to Associate Professor Dr. Achara from Kasitsart University, Thailand, the Vice President of ACPES for Project Development. At the same time, she is serving as the project head of this international online workshop. Dr. Muhammad Arda and his technical team from Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Indonesia, for serving as our Zoom meeting host, YouTube live broadcast manager, and technical support team. We have also Dr. Liliana and Miss Akifa from College Binaguna Medan, Indonesia, for managing our participants, registration, workshop evaluation, and participant support. Ms. Sapawan from Mahasarakham University, Thailand, member of the Core Workshop Coordination Team. Dr. Donnie from Universitas Negeri Semarang, Indonesia, member of Core Workshop Coordination Team. And Dr. Professor Sunanta from University, Thailand, member of the Core Workshop Coordination Team, and yours truly from Mindanao State University for today's Master of Ceremony. And of course, later he will be introduced, our guest, our speaker coming from the National Institute of Education, Singapore. Thank you so much to our wonderful organizing committee for your dedication and service. At this point, it is my distinct honor to invite the President of ASEAN Council of Physical Education, Sport and Health. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Zazen Tian Litkon, President of ACPES, for his welcome remarks. Doc?
Thank you, Shadell. Can you hear me? Okay?
Yes.
Good. All right. A very good morning to our fellow colleagues and participants. My name is Jason, and I'm the president of the ASEAN Council of PE and Sports, or known as APES. My council members and myself are very pleased today to share this online workshop with you today. I learned from our organizers that we have about 260 plus registered participants from many parts of Asia, coming from Indonesia, Malaysia, Nepal, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. So if I miss out any of your country, please feel free to let us know in the chat. So it's quite a feast for our ASEAN country over here to actually have this number of participants and interest group for this particular workshop. The title of this workshop that was shared was How to Plan, Enact, and Evaluate Values and Life Skills-Based PE and Sports Program supported by technology and AI. Now, the topic highlights our emphasis on value education in our PE and sports setting, and how we can enhance this important work using technology like AI. A lot of discussion has been happening in our everyday life, in many industries, from the financial world all the way to industrials, right? Looking at how AI can help our work. So it comes to our education landscape very naturally to many disciplines, whether in engineering, whether is it in business. So it's coming to our PE and sports setting now. So a lot of us are asking the question how to do it. And I hope this workshop today can answer some of these questions. And hopefully the many ideas that was developed in this workshop through the exchange from our participants will help to raise these issues or the challenges that we face to a better knowledge level. At the same time, I also hope our participants can use this opportunity to connect with one another and further your academic pursuits and professional development. As I hear or we hear from our MC today, there's many brains and hands involved behind this particular workshop. It shows the very strong bond of our APES family and also that strong teamwork coming from each of us. A very can-do spirit from the ASEAN neighbors. Right, with that, I wish everybody a fruitful time in this workshop today. And I thank everybody again for all the efforts you put in organizing this workshop and your attendance as well. All right, thank you so much. And I hand over the time to Dr. Chanel, our MC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zaison. Shall we give him a virtual round of applause, please? So that, just like what Dr. Zaison was saying a while back, we will be gaining more friends aside from the country where you're coming from. We can also have make friends from the Philippines. We have uh, extend our network, Dr. Zazon. As of now, I could see big universities in the country who attended this online workshop, Doc. We have from the University of the Philippines, we have the University of St. LaSalle, we have also Salaman University, Lyceum of the Philippines, RTU, we have LaSalle University, and other universities here in the country. And I believe aside from MSU-IIT, we can also extend our invitation to them for the upcoming ACPES in Thailand. So to continue, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege to introduce our distinguished speaker for today's international workshop. Our resource speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Kokuntek, a distinguished educator, researcher, and academic leader from Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. He specializes in physical education, sports coaching, and technology enhanced learning with a passion for bridging research and practice through innovative, evidence based, and values driven approaches to teaching and coaching. Dr. Ko has dedicated his career to exploring how emerging technologies, including video analysis, wearable technologies, mobile applications, and systematic observation tools, can enrich physical education and sports coaching. His work empowers teachers and coaches to become reflective practitioners, lifelong learners, and effective educators who use technology to personalize instruction and make informed decisions that enhance learning outcomes. An internationally respected scholar, Dr. Ko has facilitated more than 150 workshops, clinics, and seminars for physical education teachers, coaches, practitioners, and researchers across Asia and beyond. He has authored over 100 peer reviewed journal articles, book chapters, and books, including the research co edited Coaching Values and Life Skills Through Physical Education and Sports, a practical toolkit which is published by Routledge in 2025. His research has been featured in leading international journals such as Physical Education Sports Pedagogy, International Journal of Sports Science and Coaching, and Frontiers in Psychology, making it significantly contributions to sports pedagogy, coach education, and values-based learning. Beyond academia, Dr. Ko continues to serve the international sporting community through several prestigious leadership roles. He is the president of the Singapore Olympic Academy, Secretary General of the Southeast Asia Basketball Association, and member of the Education Committee of the Olympic Council of Asia. He also served as the president of ASEAN Council of Physical Education and Sports, or APES, from 2020 to 2023, and previously contributed to the FIBA Technical Commission, leading numerous coaching development initiatives across Asia. Today, Dr. Ko will give us through a highly relevant and timely topic entitled How to Plan, Enact, and Evaluate Values and Life Skills-Based PE and Sports Program supported by technology and AI. His expertise in integrating technology, pedagogy, and values-based education aligns perfectly with the aspiration of educators and coaches striving to prepare learners for an increasingly digital and interconnected world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to present our distinguished speaker. Please join me in giving a warm virtual welcome to Associate Professor Dr. Kokontek. Dr. Ko, I'll give now the virtual floor.
Thanks, Jodel. Good morning to everyone. Can you all hear me? Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
morning.
Doc.
Okay.
Yes,
First of all, I
Doc.
just want to thanks everyone, for attending this workshop, and also the organizer, for putting everything together. I'm really glad to at least, see this online workshop happening with a very good response. So once again, thanks the team behind, the organizing the workshop, led by Achara and also the APES, dedicated team. So also thanks MC for the long introduction. You all know, I think I know most of you, So really today the workshop is to open up another discussion, how we can prepare ourselves, not just your own university, within the ASEAN network, how we can move together, in this very fast changing world. So with that, I will start my sharing, okay? And the session is quite long in the sense, so my suggestion is I will have it in two parts, and then after part one, we can stop for the Q&A, and then subsequently, we can go on to the part two in that manner. So just to check and make sure that everybody can see my slide.
Yes, Doc.
Okay, it's gone. Sorry, just open up again. Can you all see my slide? Yes or no?
Not yet.
Okay. One more time.
Yes, dog.
We do it one more time. Share. Sorry, it's gone again. Share. Can see now?
Yes, Doc.
Yes,
Just
dog. Yes, dog.
let me just hide this voting.
Yes,
Okay.
dog.
So this is what I have for you. Just go to this. So before that, I think as Chele already mentioned, okay, this is a book that we actually get international scholar putting all the work in this area. Okay, so if your university library can afford, do purchase one, because a lot of information that we are talking about are actually extracted from here. And also, I think why are we organizing this workshop? A bigger picture behind is that currently we are already in a discussion among the Apex network that we're going to do a joint project, really looking at how we can use this self-directed and differentiated learning using technology to help PE teacher, coaches, educator, how they plan, enact, and evaluate these values and life skill instruction effectively to enhance their practices. So hopefully after today's talk, for those of you who are interested to be involved in a project, do approach your individual institution representative to show your interest, so then we can take it from there. This is what I have for you. Look very long, okay, but I will try to highlight those important points, and then we probably want to spend some time for discussion. So I think one of the things I felt proud about this is that, based on the work that we are doing, we are trying to impact now through the National Federation to pay more attention in this area. Okay, so currently this program actually has been modified and integrated for basketball specific for now. So if your country, if you are involved in any basketball within your country, I think this is where you can get more insight, through this program. So I think the topics of these values and life skill, I think every different people have different definition and interpretation. So I thought for a start, it's better for us to, define this thing, and so that we are on the same page, then it's easier for us to, discuss and, as we go along. So values basically is something that guide your behavior, you believe, and then you guide your behavior to be doing something good that is actually desirable. Okay. Of course, there are different kind of values. It can be personal value, social value, whatever. But more importantly, is something that people judge you as a good and desired behavior. Okay, because that actually determine how you as an individual behave, and then through that, how you interact with the society, with the people, around you. Life skill is defined then those important skills, soft skills that help you to become successful or navigate through all those important or challenging life. So, and this life skill can be used from one setting to another setting. So what are the relationship later we will talk about it. But for now, I would like you to maybe take up your phone and then think about this activity. Okay. What values and life skill are important to you? Because the values and life skill are already defined, but maybe all of us will have different kind of emphasis. So think about this, what are the values and life skills that are important to you as an individual or as a team or group or an organization? And last one, as a country. So now I'm going to bring you to the chat group. So take out your phone. We are going to the Mentimeter now. And then just put in 1 or 2 keywords as individual now, okay? What are life skills important to you as an individual? So scan the QR code and then just key in 1 or 2 keywords, okay, or 2 to 3 keywords that are very important to you, whether it's life skill or values. Scan the QR code and then start putting in those values and life skills that are important to you as individual, okay? As this is at the individual level. Okay, it's coming, good. Keep coming. We have about 100 of you attending the workshop. So respect is getting bigger, resilient also, good. Coming, keep coming. Oh, we have a phone number here. Okay, good. You can see the respect is coming, is the biggest so far, followed by resilient, teamwork, communication, integrity coming. Keep coming, good. Love. Okay, so you can see the respect is one of the many, values that all of you think is important.
Kok jadi mutiara?
Resilient, okay, communication, critical thinking. Okay, good. So we can see from here is that respect basically is one of the many values that you think is important. Critical thinking, this will be classified as life skill. And then, resilient, of course, never give up. Integrity. Okay, good. This is at the individual level. Okay, so you have some more, so no problem. Okay, you can continue. Let's go on to the next one here. Scan this QR code, we go to the next level. So remember early on we have the respect as one of the key. Now is imagine you are in a team or in a group or in an organization. What values are life skills that are important to you? Teamwork, collaboration, sure, because you need to work with other people. Cooperation, yeah, cooperation is quite similar to teamwork. You need to respect each other for sure. Okay, so collaboration, teamwork, communication. Okay, this will be very important life skills. when you are in an organization. Adaptability, yes. Interpersonal skill, of course. You need to communicate to people. Open-minded. Okay, so collaboration is big, followed by teamwork and communication from here. Okay, we are not saying that the rest are not important, but at least for this group, most of you think that these life skills are important when you are in a group or in an organization. Okay, let's move on. Last one. As a country, okay, name 2 or 3 values or life skills that are very important to you. As a country now. So this will be the highest level values and life skill for a country to you. Honesty, unity, integrity, okay, you can see the integrity, respect is reappearing again. Good judgment, humility, responsibility, okay, so here you can see integrity, respect, they are quite big. Okay, so again, for most of you, you can see that the integrity, respect, there are certain values that cut across, whether at the individual level, organization level, or at the larger, community level. Okay, so the list can go on. I just want to maybe, get you to think about this, at least we can take this as a basis as we go forward, for our discussion. So I'm going to stop here. Just remember all those keywords that you have put in earlier on. Okay, then we can revisit this later on. So let's get this thing back again. So based on your input, so thank you for your participation for sure. We can see that everyone actually view values and life skill differently, whether at the individual level, group level, or as a country level. So why I'm actually getting you to think about this, because very often we don't even think about what we want to do, and we don't even know what we want to teach. Then it's very difficult, if you yourself not quite sure what to teach, then it's difficult for you to then, as an educator, as a PE teacher, or as a coach, to actually try to then translate this information to people under your charge. So the exercise actually help us to understand, okay, some of the key values or life skills that are very important, that cut across different levels. So you can see the integrity, respect, some life skill, for example, collaboration, teamwork, they came up very strongly for all of you. So these will be the key values, life skill that all of you should focus on, okay, for a start. And talking about AI technology, now it's very simple now. Okay, so I can just go to the ChatGPT Copilot. I just key in the keywords, and it generate the whole list of values and life skills. And this is just one of many, lists I can actually came out. And this one is actually generated by Copilot 365. So what you need to do basically is ask yourself, what are the values and life skills that are important that you need to teach at your organization? If you are at a university, are there values and life skills that are required to be taught at the university level
Apapun dibilang.
or at the school level or at the community level. So we need to first of all understand, are there such things that need to be taught? If there isn't any, then you need to decide what are important to be taught to the group of people you are dealing. Here we have different group of people, right? You have student, you have a graduate student, you have PE teacher, you have coaches. So they are different background, and all of us carry with us different background and different belief. So to get this thing work, I think first of all, if you are at the organization or in school, university, let's look at the values and life skills that need to be taught, determined at the level first. If there isn't any, then you go into the next level as to you, what are important and what are important to the people that you are actually dealing with. Because the values and life skills that people you are dealing with may change over time. So this probably has to then evolve over time according to the people that you are actually dealing with. So are they important? If I ask you, 100% of you will say important. Why? Because values guide our belief, and you don't have integrity, then you or your family or your country will be at risk because people don't trust you, then there will be big problem for sure. So, and we look at all the PE, all of us in this room, okay, in this workshop, we are dealing with PE in sports. And you look at all the documents, they are all articulating PE and sports is not just about promoting healthy lifestyle. We need to develop the person holistically, so they are all these very nice, statement. Okay, the question is, are we really there or not? Okay, this is a question we have to keep on asking ourselves. You have to ask yourself, if you are the educator, are you doing this? If you are doing this, are these actually up to the expectation that you hope to see? So PE and sport become increasingly important now compared to 5-10 years ago. We all know that this obesity problem, people are spending more screen time. After COVID, we have a lot of stress problem and ongoing geopolitical problems. So we need to start thinking about how we can use PE and sports to achieve all these goals, getting people to be more active. For sure, that's what we have been doing. We need to do more, getting to people go up and play sports rather than spending time on screen. And then teaching people to be good, to be empathy, okay, like what you mentioned, to respect people, okay, respect other religion. Are we spending this time doing this? No? That's the question I'm asking. Are we just thinking about getting people to be proficient, get them check out, they pass this test, and then go out, they don't care about other people. Okay, so I think that is what today the conversation is all about. And I believe that all of you in education, we can do a powerful job if we know how to do it, and we believe that this is important to do. So this is nothing new, as I mentioned to you. Okay, this values life skill is already there. People are talking about it, but whether are they effective or not, that I'm not quite sure. Okay, so I want to get you to be involved in this activity. So imagine if you are a teacher or a coach, just name one or two challenges that you face when trying to teach values and life skills during PE and sport lessons. And if you are doing that, and maybe name one or two very effective way that you think you want to share with the group. So again, take out your phone. Okay, I'm going to bring you to the Mentimeter. Keep in mind these two questions. One is the challenges that you face when trying to teach this thing to your student or to the people you're dealing with. And then if you are doing that, you have some very effective strategy, share with us with one or two. So let me just bring you to the Mentimeter. Give me a minute to bring you there. And get your phone ready. Okay, here we go. Scan the QR code, put in 1 or 2 keywords that reflect the difficulty as a teacher or coach trying to teach values and life skills. If you are not a teacher, a PE or coach, doesn't matter. You can also reflect as a student how difficult you face, to learn this thing from your teacher. Okay, so either way it works. Not interested for sure. Not interesting. No time. So for some of you actually have language or understanding, maybe you want to use your Google Translator so that some of the things we're talking about, then you can also be part of these activities. So as a teacher and coach, the challenges that you face trying to teach this, or as a student or athletes, the challenges you face trying to learn this from your teacher or your coach. Disengagement linked to not interesting. Mindset. No time. So basically, from what I'm seeing here up till now is the way you go about teaching it or the way people go about learning it is not very interesting for sure. Mindset, maybe they think that PE teacher, PE and a sport lesson should be just playing game. Why are you telling us or trying to lecture this to us? Okay, so you can see lack of interest is coming out very big. Okay, basically people are not interested, or you feel that the student are not interested. So then there's a problem, right? Because in the document, or at least from the previous slide we talked about, is that PE and sport is not just about getting people to be proficient in the skill, but they also need to learn about the values and life skill. Now you as a teacher or PE teacher trying to teach, and then you realize that people are not interested. So there's a problem. Right? So if they are not interested, it's either you choose not to teach or just put less emphasis on this, and then just put more emphasis on the play, and this thing go on, and then it become a long-term question mark whether are they really learn something from PE and sports when they graduate. Okay, so this is a question probably you need to ask ourselves. So on one hand, we all believe that this is very important. The document says they are important. You try to teach, but then the people are not interested. Okay, lack of interest. So why is it so? Because you say they are not interested, right? So maybe let's hear about those people who are expert. Okay, I'm very sure they are expert in this room. That tried this thing before and it works for you. You see students are very interested in learning these values and life skills. Put 1 or 2 effective strategy that you actually have adopted or you think will be effective. So this is the effective strategy that you think can settle or then can address the lack of interest problem. Active learning. Okay. Hands-on activity. Good. Positive reinforcement. Yeah, good. Coming in. So this is the strategy. Okay. Some of you are using it or you think will be effective. Okay. This is what I want to hear from you. Gamification. Okay. Yeah. Hands-on activity. Active learning. Good. Keep coming. Because this is really the focus of today. Okay. How to make values and life skill lesson more interesting, so that PE and sports can do a better job, okay, in addressing the bigger problem that I shared with you early on. Reward system, okay, probably. Keep coming. Keep coming. This one I want to spare a little bit more time, okay? Because if you already know the answer, then we don't really need to spend so much time trying to tell people who know what to do, right? Embed in the curriculum. Yes. Positive reinforcement. Modification. Yeah, keep coming. I give you another 10 seconds to put in whatever thing you want to put in here. Led by example. Active learning. Okay. Gamification, okay, came out very strongly, the biggest one. Then the surrounding one will be reward, get people, to do it. And active learning for sure. Game-based learning. Okay, so you can see from here, most of you think that, to get people to be interested, it cannot be just a lecture, like just like now I'm trying to tell you, okay, this doesn't work. So you need to get them to learn something through game-based learning or gamification, get them to involve and to be active learning something and not active listening, but active doing something, okay, that you want to teach. So these are all the strategy, okay, which I think is very good to see from all of you. Okay, I'm going to take a picture just to, remind ourselves later on, okay, what you actually put it in. So from this screen, just bear in mind, also tell all of us that to really do this piece well and get people to be interested is no more lecture. Okay, yes, you can talk something, but then really get using activity. Could be activity, can be games, get people to be involved, and then reinforce over time. That is the way to actually get people to be excited and then get them to actually, wanting to do this piece well. So again, thank you for your, participation. Let's go on to this. So we are back. You can see my screen, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So
Yes,
you have
Doc.
completed 2 activities. Thank you for your participation so that we can keep you going later on, if not people will fall asleep. So this actually reinforce what you actually have shown me just now. Okay, on one hand, we say it's very important. You try to teach to the student, but children are not interested and there's no learning going on, and hence there will be some undesired behavior happening during PE lesson or sports, in particular in sports. Okay, here are just some of the newspaper cutting that displays unsportsmanship, okay, during competition. And this is just another clip, use sports in volleyball. Even female also can be very violent. After a volleyball game, people start fighting, even for girls. And then eventually people got fainted. So if we say that PE and sports can do very wonderful things, okay, and if we do the thing well, we will see less of all those undesirable behavior on and off the court. So what are all these problems? Okay, the problem, some of them you already identified early on. People are not interested, disengaged. And why is this so? Because we all assume that PE teacher and coaches, you know what to do. Okay, you don't need to train, and then you are able to do this thing, okay, which is problematic. So the other thing is about the things that we talk or we try to teach the student, okay, different people may teach different things. So here are just some examples, okay, even the terminology that we use and you are trying to teach, okay, sometimes if you every day talking about different terminology, even though you're trying to teach the student or your athletes, they will get confused. So the other problem is there's no connection. Okay, so maybe you are a very dedicated PE teacher or coach, you believe in this, you teach during your lessons, but then when these students go outside, okay, maybe to a sport organization, to outside community, okay, to clubs, they are interacting with different people. Okay, and if they don't see the connection, how I display respect during my soccer lesson with you, and then they may go to the national federation as a soccer player representing Indonesia, for example. If they don't see the connection, they may be disrespectful at the national federation level because they cannot see the connection. So there is no connection from one environment to another environment because we didn't help them to see the connection. So the strategy, nothing new. Okay, people need to be trained. We need to relook at how we plan, deliver, okay, and we need to make it intentional. How to be intentional? Some of the strategy you already show us early on, okay, which we try to reinforce later on. And then you look at the training program, for example. So this slide I mentioned early on, going back to the activity one, okay, what are the values and life skills to teach? All of you will have come from different background, okay, different school, different organization. So I think the first thing is to really go back to your organization or school. What are there values that the school want you to teach or want you to learn? You should start from there, okay? And then try to integrate all these values and life skills through your gamification, which you say just now, active learning, or into your curriculum. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do. And more importantly, whatever thing you're trying to do, PE and sport, the most important thing is still getting people to be active, learning the sport skills as the priority. So it cannot be spending a lot of time teaching values and life skill than teaching the psychomotor skill. It cannot be that way. So the integration become very important. The active learning become very important. Okay, so that people will learn through all this in a very unconscious manner. Okay, rather than they say, oh, you're going to teach this again. So to start off, I think this is just one template. Again, you can just put a template in the ChatGPT, generative AI, they will generate the solution for you. Okay, so you need to first to look at your curriculum or your sport program, what sport skill you want to teach. And then within the sport skill itself, are there values and life skills that are important? So these values and life skills will link back to the first activity, those values, life skills that the organization want you to teach. And how do you know they display this value? Then the behavior becomes very important. If we just say respect, okay, you need to respect your teacher, but because it's very important. Then without knowing how to show respect, it's very difficult for you and for the student or the athlete to know whether they have demonstrated these values of respect. So the behavior has to be very specific so that they actually help you to cross-check whether the athlete is doing this or no. Okay, so you need to start off with this very simple template so that it's easier for you to do the planning, and checking subsequently. This is a normal plan. I just want to share with you again, okay, how you can use the technology to call out all these simple things. So again, the technology right now help us a lot, and you can fast forward a lot of things. So I just will show you one template, again, generated by AI. Just key in the few keywords. Okay, remember the template I show you early on. Okay, I can just use AI to do this for me. AI just give you some of the draft, okay, but you need to know what you really want. Can you see my screen here? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, so this is AI generated lesson plan. Okay, so I key in whatever thing I want, the duration, and then they will give me the learning outcome. Okay, all these things there. These are all the template for PE lesson. Okay, and I also dictate the life skill that I want to teach. So I say just, give me 1 or 2 life skill that potentially can be taught in this 3-on-2 basketball offensive situation, and then give me the meaning and definition. They actually give you some. So again, with all this information, I can then go into, they even give you this plan, okay? What minute, how long, do what. So what I really need to do is to then look at this life skill. Here, look at the activity, for example, 3 on 0, fast break. If this is the drill, these are the core skill, and potentially there's a communication life skill I can teach. So what's the behavior? Based on here, I like it, I say I can use it. Communication means call for the ball. So that's one way to communicate. And I think this is easier and it's quite common in this setting. Then I say potentially life skill of communication can be taught here. And how do I know? When players start shouting left, right, this is communication. So this is life skill integrated within this 3-0 fast break activity. So it's that simple. You can go on the list and then you can start to add in the life skill values whenever you think is appropriate, and then you facilitate after the activity beside the sports skills and the life skill together. So again, you can see with the AI, so easy to do, but I think more important thing is you as a teacher, you need to know what to choose and then what to modify. You cannot take everything because eventually you are going to deliver the lesson. You must feel comfortable and the thing must be authentic to the players or to the student, easy to understand, and it's their common lingo that they are using in the particular sport or setting. Okay, so that student and athletes don't feel that it is something very odd. I need to remember. You don't need to remember. For example, just now they call for the ball or communicate left, right. That's something that they usually will do, or you usually will ask them to do for the sports activity or sports skills activity. Now you just integrate this thing as life skill, because if they don't communicate, they cannot score, they make mistake, then there's a problem. Okay, then they will see that this life skill of communication become important in that sports activity. So that's what we can do. And then we need to then make connection, with all these things together. So remember, you are teaching communication, calling ball, left, right, and this is important. You need to also need to let them know why communication is important outside this basketball setting, for example. Okay, so you need to help them to draw the link. For example, if they experience that if I don't communicate, I cannot achieve the goal. And if I go to the class, the English class in a group, if I don't communicate, we may not be able to finish the assignment or activity as a group. So we need to communicate, we need to hear from each other, we need to help each other so that we can finish the task. So then they know that communication is not just important in basketball. When they go to the classroom, when they are doing the assignment, they will demonstrate the same life skill. So this is making connection, helping them to make sense of what they have learned from one environment to another environment so that they can use it, okay, without difficulty. So I just want to pause here because it has been quite a bit of information, and I just want to maybe pause here and take some questions if I may, okay? And also for me to take a break. Chadel, back to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Kokontek. Though we are still half of our online workshop, I know that all of us here are really engaging to the given activity by Dr. Kokontek. And I believe we have learned some strategies as to how we can embed the um, embed and strengthening the values in our PE classes at the same time in our coaching endeavors. So I may also call in Miss Akifa to assist me, especially our participants who are coming from Indonesia, so that we can have also translators and others. No? And we are now actually open for your questions. Dear participants, you can actually raise your questions or write your questions here in the chat box. And you can also open your microphone if you want to ask question. Aside from chatting it here in the chat box, you can open your microphone. Okay. Questions?
So anyone would you have the questions, please? Welcome. He's my students. Kasesat University, the master students, please welcome. He's from Turkey, please.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank. First of all, thank you, esteemed professor. It's very informative for us, actually. Thank you, Professor Chara. Thank you, Professor Kokun. Everything is clear. My question is, yes, AI actually is new for us, for everyone. So, what is your expectation with like next 5 years? Can we use AI easily? I mean, like if we want to use AI like a proper features, we need to pay for upgrade level. You know what I'm saying? So can we reach AI easily? So what do you think? Thank you.
Thanks. I think that's very tough questions, because first, I am not an AI expert. Okay, I only use technology to guide my work, but I can anticipate. Okay, I think the pace is so fast that even you talk about using AI, they're also already moving so fast itself. So I think don't need wait until 5 years. Okay, you can see the next 1-2 years. There are a lot of things coming up. And the AI will probably give you more precise things and maybe cheaper or a lot of free things for people to use. Definitely, the developer will have something in mind because it cannot be free for nothing. Okay, we know that you use a free AI, you feed the data in, they use your data to kind of train the AI to become smarter. So there's these ethical things that you need to pay attention to. That one. So I think. To answer your question, I think that for us, we need to really think about how we can embrace AI. We need to keep up to date how this thing is evolving and how we can use this to enhance our teaching and also enrich student learning. That's where we need to pay attention to, rather than trying to do a catch up or say this is not relevant. Which I think will be quite a sad thing because if we can role model, because when AI is here, it actually start everything from the base. So we know that from when we talk about the technology in the past, other subject is ahead of PE. But when the AI is very new to everybody, so PE and other subject you actually start from the same base. So if all of us can start thinking about how we can develop AI or some of the things can help us to do our work better, do research to inform the work we are doing, and if we can do that collectively, perhaps then we will be faster than other subject, and other subject may then learn from us, rather than we trying to learn from other subject in terms of technology usage in the past. I hope I answer your questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you for deep explanation. Thank you very much.
Are there any more questions? Because I intentionally break it that way because based on the program, it's supposed to be Q&A at the end of the session, which I think is very, very long. And we know that the longer you go to all this information, that you try to listen here may not be fresh. Yeah, so I thought I want to take a pause here, take some question, or you can give some comment for sure. This is a platform for us to hear, to learn, okay, to exchange idea. Yes, we have a question coming up. Go ahead.
So maybe Dr. Tanyu, you want to share some of your ideas in the first sections, please?
Not yet, Professor. Thank you.
There is two person raise their hand. Julimar and from University of Philippines.
Yeah, Julima, go ahead.
Julimar, maybe
Yes,
you
Sir
can
Jolimar
ask your question.
from LaSalle
Yes.
University.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're raising
Okay.
your hand. Okay, Kaylee, ask now your question.
I have a question, ma'am, regarding with the AI. Okay, about the AI technology. So, how can technology and AI supports teachers improving PE and sports learning experiences?
Okay, thanks for the question. So there are many, way of doing it. As I said, today the workshop is only my way, my experience I'm trying to share with you. It's not the only way. Okay. So the technology and AI, first, I think as a PE teacher or as an educator, we need to know what are the technology out there that are available to support teaching and learning. You must know first, right? So awareness, trying to understand what are available out there, that's the first baseline for us to know. The next thing is, based on all this technology and AI function, how can I use this to make me more effective as a teacher? Okay. So for example, just now I show you two examples, right? The template, okay, and the definition. There are tons of information inside. I just use the ChatGPT. I don't need to go and think so hard. They actually give you less than 3 seconds. They give you all the information. But the information is what they have generated from AI. You as a teacher, you are the architect. You are the designer. You need to pick from there and say, yes, these are the things will be useful for me. I take those that are useful and relevant. So you need to screen and then make the integration in that sense. So in short, I think the technology and AI can help you to, especially AI can help you to give you very quick, to give you some useful draft or information, without you having to go and search, to think about here and there. So then you based on the draft, you work, then you will actually become more efficient and effective. So that's what AI can do to help us to be more effective in our teaching. Then the same thing has to then apply to the student. Okay, what are the technology and AI can be used during my lessons? So just now we talked about the lesson template is for you to generate the lesson plan. Students don't use a lesson plan, right? So then you need to think about what other gamifications or technology or application that can use during PE lesson. So for example, okay, just I use the Mentimeter, very old method, but that's one way to engage student, right? I can use other game video analysis. Okay, ask them to take a video, and then once the video, then the application then can analyze the movement. These are just some example. Rather than every time teacher centric, I need to do everything, but I use the video analysis. I use peer coaching. Then the student, they are learning in different way, but they are still learning. There's those things that are required for them to learn. So, Julema, did I answer your question?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So it means that PE teacher can provide more like meaningful learning experience while developing both physical skills and life skills by AI. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Julimar. Before we will entertain two questions here we have also one question here in the chat box, Dr. Kokontek. We have from Silliman University, Sir Emmanuel Rilon. His question is, how can a teacher use these innovative assessment methods mid-class to give real-time feedback that actually motivates a student who is struggling with specific skill?
Okay. So I think that's a very good question. Okay, real time. So what are the tools can actually capture real time? But that's very important. So I think in a PE setting, a lot of us are using video, right? With video, you record, correct? So when you video and record, okay, they actually capture real time, but there's a problem that in terms of the participation, okay, so you need to think about the organization, how I organize the class, who going to videos, who going to give feedback. So this then go back to your planning. Because remember, eventually, as I mentioned, whether it's you're using technology or AI, the activity time cannot be compromised. So I cannot afford to have a 1 hour lesson and students spending half or 30 minutes of lesson trying to figure out how to use the technology, how to sit down there and give feedback. It cannot be that way. Okay, so I think this technology and AI is trying to then give them some variety. Okay, so it cannot be the whole lesson ICT. Maybe it's a 1 hour lesson, or maybe 50% or 40% using ICT to facilitate that whole session, for example. So back to the real time, I can use the video recording, okay, because right now they're handphone, right? So I can ask them to just do peer, coaching, okay, but you need to prepare some work. So if you say peer coaching, they need to know what to look out for. So there must be a checklist or at least a video to show them these are the correct form you need to look after. And this thing probably to save time, maybe upload this video before the lesson so that the kids know roughly this is how the action should be performed. And then when they are seeing their friend doing the action during the lesson, then the capturing and feedback can be fast. So there should be some front-loading activity before this ICT lesson itself. So that's one way we can maintain the engagement time or the physical activity time without compromising, the use of this ICT strategy.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Kokontek. We have 3 more questions. We have from University of the Philippines. Sir, are you still there? And also one from Binaguna. And we have also one question here in the chat box.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Ku, Contact, and to everyone. I am one of the faculty members from the University of the Philippines, Mindanao. And actually, my research topic is very particular with life skills development, but specifically in sports. So I have also written several articles about it. And currently, I have a new research about the level of their life skills transfer and which domains in life beyond sports they are transferring these skills. But particularly, I am focusing more on Cronin and Allen's identified life skills, 8 life skills. Um, Actually, my question, Dr. Ko, is focusing more on what is happening in the context of physical education here in the Philippines, because the current curriculum in the senior high school actually removed the physical education in senior high school, and it became an optional only. So again, it is removed in the senior high school curriculum, unlike before, which is it is compulsory. So now they removed it, and they created and offered a new course or subject, which is life skills. Now we all know, and it was discussed earlier, that physical education can be a platform, an avenue to teach life skills, and even sports. We can use that one to intentionally integrate the teaching of life skills. So now they removed the PE subject, and instead they offered life skill course, and the teacher can now choose if they are going to use PE in teaching the life skill. So it became like reverse opposite. Now it is very hard for us normal physical education teachers, specifically if you are in the basic education, to approve and do your part, advocate, promote your field, because it is the problem of the government, the policy itself. So, any thoughts on that, on how we are going to help our teachers, our field, specifically here in the Philippines, to uplift and prove to the government that indeed, when we say physical education, we are not only developing the children, the people, physically, but holistically, just like what the sport is also.
Thanks for the question, and really nice to hear that you're also doing similar piece of work. Continue to do that. My quick response is when it comes to policy government, we really can't do much. Let's look at what we can do. Okay, so life skill, even though this subject today is about PE and sports, but life skill itself can cut across different domains. So that's where you talk about your transfer. Transfer in your setting right now, I'm very sure you talk about transferring from sport to other setting. So the other setting could be classroom, could be family, so on and so forth. So for us, I think for your case right now, if there's a life skill specifically program or course, that's good. That means it's all about life skill. So life skill then is set aside for you to pay more attention to how you can help the student. May not be the PE or sports student or athletes, whoever they're under the charge, you can be part of it. So if you are already into life skill to sports, perhaps then you can offer yourself or your colleagues to bring some of this expertise, to the classroom setting, for example. I'm going to show you later on part 2, okay? The application that we are actually doing now is actually transferred to the classroom now. Because life skill to me, I think as an educator, of course, we are PE and sports. We want people under our charge, they learn. But ultimately, education is about helping people, developing people holistically, whether you are PE and sports or you are in academic subject. We need to help them not just academically good, but also help them to be a successful person in future. So whatever thing that you learn from sports, for example, life skill, the framework, the strategy, I'm very sure you can be easily modified and transfer in a classroom setting. So two options, you can offer yourself to be involved in whatever thing they are doing. And then when you are in the environment, you show people how to do it more effectively. And then hopefully when people seeing what you are doing, and then they are more convinced that maybe I should put PE back, so that people can benefit from here. This is just my thought. So my thought is to show people how these things to be done properly based on the evidence. And then over time, hopefully convince people that certain things should be done in certain manner. Just as today, why are we organizing this sharing? Okay, it's not me telling you what are good, what are bad, and what are the strategy. You have a strategy. We have this conversation. I share with you what you have or what I have. I also want to listen from you. Then we exchange some ideas. So eventually we can then involve in the research project, and the research project then can use evidence to inform what we're doing in our own way. I hope I answer your questions, my friend.
Yes, Dr. Ko, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Let's have another question from Stock Binaguna. Sir, you are recognized.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there any question? And hello everyone. Good morning. As a Prof. Dr. Kontok. My name is Epenetus Giawa, and I am master student in physical education at STOK Binaguna Medan, Indonesia. Thank you for your useful and inspiring presentation. But I would like to ask, what are your two most effective strategy for integrating value and life skill-based education, support by technology and AI into physical education learning? And how can its success be evaluated through authentic assessment in school? Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thanks for the question. Can I just rephrase it? So you want to know how you can actually plan and enact this life skill and evaluate life skill effectively. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Yeah.
Okay, so the first part, up to this point, I more or less already cover how to plan a life skill lesson. So I think the life skill and values lesson based on the work we know, it cannot be like, it has to be intentional. Okay, that means you have to plan. So how you plan, you also cannot plan out of nothing. So based on the early on example, okay, you all told me that it has to be to get people to be interested, it has to be gamified, it has to be active learning. So you need to look at your lesson plan, your curriculum, and then put all those life skill and values that are very important in your school and then into your curriculum. And then through the learning of all those activity, sports skills or whatever, and then put all and integrate them together. So that's one. The evaluation part, I will show you early on the part 2 after this Q&A session. So to sum up the first part, it has to be carefully planned and identify the core values and life skills that are supposed to be taught or need to be taught, by you or by your organization with very specific behavioral things to observe, okay? Because that actually help you to assess at the end of your lessons and also assess over a period of time whether the student have learned or not. Okay, I hope I answer your question.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. And your response you very well in the individual development of psychologism today and take that. Terima kasih. Thank you so much, Mr. Okay.
Okay,
You're
thank you
welcome.
so much. Doc,
Yes.
we still have 2 questions here in the chat box.
Okay, we take the last 2, then we move on. Okay, then we can
Yes,
keep
Doc.
the rest of the question, at the end. Okay.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We have from Sir Ferry. Why is the measurement of learning outcomes important? On the other hand, students need to feel comfortable and safe in the classroom. Aren't tests are a burden for them? Then the second question is, physical education is synonymous with movement development. Given this, does assessment prioritize only grades, even though physical education is fundamentally about movement?
Okay, good. Thanks for the 2 questions. But these 2 questions are all about assessment. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So my question is, do you believe assessment is important? That's my question back to you. Because if you don't talk about assessment, so how do you know your lesson is effective? That's my question to you, or a question to everyone. So as a teacher, we plan, or as a coach, I plan everything, right? This lesson I want to do what, a sport life skill. That after you finish your 1-hour lesson, how do you know the student have learned based on what you want to teach? So one way, so I cannot wait until after 13 weeks, I do a test, because by then it's a bit too late. So every lesson, I need to have some form of assessment. Assessment need not to be a formal test. So for example, if I say just now, this lesson I teach about the 3-on-2 basketball concept, just an example, 1 hour, this is what I'm going to teach. At the end of the lesson, remember the template I show you, the student must show you, you must articulate. The student must be able to do something. So that is the assessment of your teaching at the end of the lesson. So you need to have that thing in order for you to assess whether you need to change your subsequent lesson or not, or you can continue with what you have planned, before that. So that kind of after lesson assessment is important. It can be informal, but they actually guide you in your forward planning. So that's one. The formal assessment, is it important? Are they just grades or these things? It's really depending on each country. I know that some country, they move away from this grade, Singapore is one of example. Okay, you want to put grade is up to you, but the grade doesn't mean anything. And giving you the grade is just give you something to say that, well, when you finish these modules, okay, this is where you stand. And if you want to do better, okay, this is where you should go. So it's really giving some formative feedback to the student to let them know where they are. And then if they decide to move forward, they know how and where, how much to move. Okay, it's not using a grade to determine if you fail this thing, you cannot move on to, you are the failure, whatever. That shouldn't be the case. So in short, I think assessment, there are two types. Okay, informal, like what I mentioned to you, is very important for you, also for the student to know where they are. If they are not catching up or they are a bit fall short, they ought to know or they need to know how to improve themselves so that, they can, improve over time. So it's a form of giving feedback to the student to let them know where they are and then help them to move, forward. The formal assessment is then for you as a teacher or as a student to then know where they stand at the end of the course or the program. But one thing I just want to add on, for formal assessment, unless it's a requirement by the university or the department, it's going to take up a lot of time to assess the student. So if you have a class of 30 or 40, you easily will need at least 1 or 2 weeks to assess them. So that means to say, if I have 10 weeks of teaching, these 2 weeks were then set aside for assessment. That means you only left 8 weeks to assess them formally. So personally, I believe that we should go the ongoing assessment. And then at the end of the 10 weeks, so we have more time to teach them, they have more time to play, they have more time to experience. And then at the end of the week 10, you can give them a definite grade to say, okay, based on this ongoing assessment, this is where you are. I think that probably will a better way to help students to learn along the way, get feedback along the way, and then they wouldn't be surprised at the end of the 10 week, they get that kind of grade. And the grade means not so much of passing or failing, but it's an assessment of their learning of the 10 weeks. So I hope I answered the two questions in terms of the assessment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kokontek. Actually, there is one question here still again about assessment. He is asking about the ideal design concepts, particularly in digital rubric-based assessment, specifically focused on basketball dribbling practice exercises.
Okay,
Is there an ideal design concepts or user flaws?
there is no ideal, my friend, okay, because I say it's really going back to the context. The context in Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, the way we assess basketball will be very different. Okay, so I think going back to, if you are the school teacher, if you are a university professor, look at if the university asks you to come out the assessment rubrics, that's best. Okay, go to the ChatGPT, go to AI and ask, key in the information. Okay, I need to assess what grade, year 1, 18 years old, recreation. So you need to key in those keywords that your target group, what you want to assess. Okay, so you can use this to then get some ideas. Okay, rubrics, I can just go in less than 5 seconds. I can generate the rubrics for you. But then it's for you to say, these rubrics, are they really realistic to accept? Because sometimes they may give you very high-end skill. But then, you're based on your student, your artists, they may not be there. So if you use a rubrics that is so high-end, then the problem is you may not have any student getting the A and Bs. Then will actually reflect very bad of your teaching. But in this case, it's not because your teaching, it's because of the rubrics that you're using is not appropriate. That's why going back to how we should use AI appropriately. The AI is help you to generate something, but you as a content expert, you need to decide what will be good, what will be relevant to you, and then you take it from there. Yes?
There you go. So thank you so much, Dr. Kokontek. I agree with you. There's no such standard or ideal rubrics. First and foremost, you need to assess first the level of our learner. Thank you so much, Dr. Kokontek, for answering all of these questions. Now we can proceed to the second part of the session, Doc.
Okay, so let's move on to the last part. I hope you can hang on with me. And then this will be mainly, the strategy and also some of the assessment, which some of you actually have asked early on. So can you see my screen?
Yes, Doc.
Okay. So these are publication. Okay, go and search, Google search, you will see my name, and these are publication that will help you, and again, the content actually come from here. So this is a framework and it's very similar to what you mentioned early on. The way we go about teaching life skill and values is no more lecture. We go on to active learning, okay, engagement. So we use their experience during the activity and then draw upon the activity to get them to think about the life skill and values that you already designed. Remember earlier on I talked about the communication. Communication means shouting left and right. So when they are doing the drill, when I hear the shouting left and right, then I can facilitate just how what happens if you don't communicate. They will tell you, if I don't communicate, it will result in mispassing. They can tell you exactly why, because they actually have experienced it, and this experience can lead to learning. Then you start questioning them. If you don't communicate, what happened? Mispassing. Okay, unsuccessful score. Is this what something you want to, you desire? They will definitely tell you no. So through the experience of the activity, the sports skill activity, they then realize that these life skill or values become very, very important because they experience it. And with your facilitation, the experience can become a knowledge of communication life skill they actually learn from this particular activity. So this is the beauty of using experiential learning theory. Of course, there are many theory, but I only share with you the theory that I believe a lot that actually guide my work. So the success factor, no shortcut. Okay, we spend a lot about having to plan and design, and then now we go into the implementation part. So with the plan, without having able to deliver and facilitate on time, it also just become an activity. So based on this life skill continuum, continuum engagement, based on Bin and and colleagues, there are 6 levels. So why am I showing you this thing? So that you as a teacher or as a PE teacher, when you see this characteristic, you know when you are teaching value and life skill, where you are, so that you know I can move from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 and level 4, so on and so forth. So having a general understanding of the characteristic of these values or life skill learning, or engagement, help you to know where you are, and then can also help you to think about whether you want to move to the next level. If yes, how to move. So the first thing is you need to structure the sports context. So let me just show you a clip. So basically, if you want to talk about these values and life skill, level 1, okay, is just getting students to be aware about you're going to do this. And this is something look like this.
Okay. All right. So today's lesson is similar to last Tuesday's and the week. That last lesson we have the band on. All right. Today we're going to focus on the 2 values again: respect and care. So when I'm talking now, Faya is not respecting me because Faya is talking with Leroy. Right? Faya? So respect. Right, when someone is talking, do look at the person that's talking. That's one of our PE rules. Remember? Okay, and also when later on when we are moving about, respect our own personal space. Do not go into another person's personal space. If you go into somebody's personal space, what will happen? Accidents will happen. Understand? So later on, you do not touch them, you do not touch each other, so that we're all safe.
So this is very simple. You set the ground rules, talk about the values and why social is important. So this is level 1, the lowest level. Okay. So the level 2 is one level higher. So once you set the rules, what happened? Okay. If you really want to create this kind of life skill values environment.
When we were playing, right, some of you were arguing, some were a bit unhappy. So today we remember about fair play, integrity. Now teamwork, all that we will practice a little bit more, collaboration. But I appreciate many of you here. Example, Callum just now. So, Enzo's ball from here rolled all the way there. Callum's ball was there. Callum, instead of seeing the ball there, he picked the ball up and then he tried to kick it back to them. Tried to, but never mind. But I appreciate that. Okay, helping each.
So this clip then move one level higher. You set the rules, and then the teacher observe student behavior. That one ball come to here, it may actually become a safety problem, and then this particular student try to move the ball away so that you will not create any potential safety problem, of your classmate. And the teacher recognize this behavior in front of the class after an activity. This is level 2. That means observing, recognizing those good behavior in front of the class, we reinforce all those behavior. So the level 3 now, okay, I just want to play a video for you. And then I just want to maybe hear from you after this, if you are the attacker or defender, what can you learn from this activity? So again, watch this video and then see if you are the attacker, what values or lives you can learn. And then as a defender, as a attacker. The blue, they are the attacker. Yellow, they are the defender. And this is the 3v2 offensive concept. Focus on if you are the attacker, what values you can learn or life skill, or if you are defender, what values and life skill you can learn, okay, besides the sports skill. Okay, so imagine you have completed this activity. And now as a teacher, I will ask you, say, okay, think about the activity and you are the attacker, okay? Beside the sports skill, what values you can learn as a defender or as an attacker? So take out your phone. I want you to key in and respond to these questions. The first one, if you are the attacker, what values and life skill you think you can learn from here? Just one, give me one, okay? If you are the attacker. Love. If you are the one wearing blue jersey in this activity, what values and life skill you can learn besides the sports skills? Confident, respect, consideration, keep coming. respect, risk taker, okay, confident. Okay, remember you are focusing on the blue, the 3 attacker. What can you learn from this activity beside, the sport skills? Of course, as a teacher, I already have something in my mind when I'm doing this activity in terms of the values and life skill I want to teach. Risk taker, respect seems to be the important values and life skill that this group recognized. Teamwork, confident, sure. Any more coming? Respect, teamwork, risk taker. Okay, so we saw that teamwork, respect, confidence, and the risk taker will be the life skill or values that you think can be incorporated for this activity, and also the commitment here. Okay, enough. Let's go to the next activity. If you are the defender, beside the attacker, if you are the defender, the two very, the two defender, poor defender, okay, what can you learn from this activity in terms of values and life skills? Sportsmanship, sure. Coordination. Keep coming. You are the two defender, okay? Of course, you are in a disadvantaged position, right? But for sure, there are also lessons that you can learn. Resilient. Yes. Focus. Good. Sportsmanship, discipline, strategic. Okay, keep coming. Stay focused, resilience, still the two key values and life skills. Teamwork. Okay, another 15 seconds. Keep coming before I stop the activity. Teamwork, focus, resilience seems to be the 3 key important values and life skills. Problem solving. Yes. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop. So defender, what you can learn from here, maybe to stay focused, be resilient, and then you exhibit teamwork. Okay, so thank you for the contribution. Can I just ask for those people who actually put as an attacker, and you say teamwork is very, very important, or maybe you say because there are 3 keywords: respect, teamwork, and risk taker. Maybe can I just invite one of you who put in respect is important to you in the activity? Why is it so? Those who put respect as an attacker, you want to share? Why you think respect is important as an attacker in the activity? Anyone? Those of you who put in the respect, right? Because
Anyone
just
to
now
share respect with the context
yeah, someone who put in respect and teamwork just now.
and teamwork?
Yep. Anyone?
Now we have 160 participants in our workshops today. Anyone lift your hand, please?
So according to teamwork that we have to work with people. So the best part is like communication. So
Sorry?
communication.
Luapan. Luapan. You mentioned something, right, just now?
Pim, what you say some things? We didn't hear you.
May we also encourage
Yes,
those to turn off your mic
a good
so that
teamwork
we can hear
according
you.
to the attacker. According to the attacker, in basketball, we have like to work with people. So we have like teamwork, like we have to talk with people in daily life. So a good teamwork for playing attack in attacking position because we
Okay,
have
good.
to.
So because there are 3%, right, they need to function as a team. So teamwork can be highlighted in the activity. And you will see when you saw the video, they are successful attempt. They were also unsuccessful attempt. Okay, so I think it's then really looking at what kind of situation happened, and then you can then facilitate the kind of activity and behavior. What about respect? Someone put respect, right? Those who put respect, you want to share why you think respect can be learned from the activity. Why you? You want to respond?
I saw the guys in the from Danny. Danny, please.
Danny? Danny, did you put respect?
Sure.
I didn't put respect, but may I get an idea for respect in playing basketball? I think if people have to work together, have to respect people, not in basketball, but in real life, in like class, in with family, with other people in the community. So I think respect in playing sport help people to grow to life in the reality. But we use sport to practice, to work for being human, being a good human, to according to the sport. So we use sport to make our life uh, better, our life to feel with quality of good human.
Okay, so you are actually talking about the transfer now, the life, okay, which is relevant. So we just go back to the activity itself. The activity, respect, someone put respect. Julaima, right? You want to say something. So from the activity, someone put respect can be learned. So just focus on the activity itself first one. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Actually, sir, Doc, I didn't put respect, but I put
Okay.
teamwork. Yeah, I put
Okay.
teamwork. But in
Okay.
my own perspective as well, respect is a good answer. Is a good answer because defenders learns that playing sports not only about winning. We all know that one, but also about showing a good behavior towards other. And also, they learn to respect their teammates by listening and cooperating, respect opponent by playing fairly. Okay, that's yeah, we all know that he's very, very good. And respect the rules and decisions made during the activity. They helps develop the sportsmanship, discipline, and positive attitude both in sports and in a daily life. Okay, that's my own perspective, sir.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. As you can see right now, there are a lot of things coming, right? So it can be within sports, it can be outside sports, it can be other things. So let's go back to this particular clip again, if I may. Just make sure I... What are you seeing now? Is it still the... Can I just check what screen are you seeing now?
No screen yet, Doc.
No screen.
Yes.
No screen. Let me just end the show. Okay. Just now we were here. Did you see the screen? Activity
Yes,
3,
Doc.
are you seeing? Yeah.
Yes, Doc.
Okay, so remember just now I asked you watch this clip. Remember right now we're still trying to go into the activity level 3. Level 3 is about trying to use the activity to then facilitate the life skill or values teaching. So it's still focusing on the activity itself in PE or sports setting. So just now I asked you to focus on the attacker and defender. Definitely there are a lot of lessons can be learned if you plan properly. Just now I just asked the 2 questions, and thanks for those of you who contributed. There are definitely a lot of things can be done. But again, we don't want to open up too much things. If you go back to your plan again. So the activity can be focusing on one group, which are the attacker, or I can also focus on the other group as a defender. Up to you to plan. And when this thing happening, then you catch that moment when happen, and then you facilitate during your short. Definitely after the activity, you will get everybody to calm down, and then you do the debrief, right? The skill problem, and then also the life skill and values problem. So going back to the clip itself, if you recall earlier on, if I want to look at, so these are the sport skill concept, okay, which you don't need to worry, which we're all very good at. But now we are actually want to look at the life skill and values. So in this particular situation just now, you saw this guy is very tall. In this situation, based on the sport skill concept, this guy is supposed to pass to this guy. Okay, but he didn't. He took the shot, but then the ball didn't go in. So when you saw this situation happen, as a teacher or coach, you then had to stop, and then you start to facilitate this experience. So you are asked, what happened? Okay, then get the 3% to talk. Okay, they will say, didn't, or the attack was not successful. And then why is it so? Okay, do you think how do you feel about it? Of course, they will feel lousy because they are supposed to score. They have 3 attacker, only 2 defender. So why is it so? Because instead of passing, I took. So this is actually from the tall guy here. Okay, I took the shot. So you ask the tall guy, so what should you do next time? The tall guy will say, okay, I need to respect and trust my teammate. That is, it can be teamwork. So get the student to talk about the experience, but then you facilitate by asking all those key questions. So it's not you telling them again, you should pass whatever, but getting them to reflect on the experience which you observe and you want this thing to happen so that it happens. It helps you to facilitate and reinforce this importance of respect and life skill, which you already plan ahead. But instead of you talking, you get the student to talk about it. So yes, the student say I should respect, and then if not, I should be, they won't be able to score. And then you get them to play again, so you can see the clip. And then you wait for the successful moment, because the successful moment reinforce the learning again. So you saw the last one, you saw the tall guy now, instead of he going on his own shot, he passed the ball to this short guy. Again, this is what the sports skill concept required. You saw this nice thing happen, you catch this moment, ball will go in, stop everyone, then you give another 1-2 minutes of debrief. So this time round, you ask again, attacker, what happened? Well, I keep that. So all these are the important keywords. I kept my head up, I look for my teammate, and then I pass to whoever free to score. So how you feel about it? I feel good. Why is it so? Because I respect my teammate, and together, we work together, we then able to score. So then this close the loop of unsuccessful case, reflecting on the experience, not just the sports skill, but also the life skill or respect. Regardless whether they are capable or not capable, they need to pass, And then catch another successful situation, highlight if you pass, this will be the successful outcome, score. And then reinforce the importance of trust, respect, whatever thing. So this then bring the level to level 3 and level 4. So you get them to experience the life skill, and then you facilitate the discussion like what I did with you now. So to recap, basically, these are the offensive skill, we talk about it. These are the life skill that, in the lesson plan that I have for this particular activity. So the level 3 and 4 is not just about within the basketball setting, right? So we learn this thing. How can you then use respect or teamwork in this activity outside this PE class or this basketball team lesson? You need to then help them to transfer. So just now I talked about it, this discussion about the level 3 and level 4. I want to show you the transfer, how you facilitate the transfer. So transfer is from one activity or one context, bring out to other contexts. Just now Supawan already mentioned, okay, in the basketball activity, I can use it in life, whatever. So when she is talking, that is a facilitation of life skill transfer, which is level 5. Okay, let me just show you one clip that you know what I'm talking about.
Not stand there and give up all the way. So this is what I want.
So this is transfer, okay?
I want all my players, okay, be it in training, be it in you apply this kind of value, fighting spirit, resilience in whatever you do. You see, some of you, wow, you fight all the way to the last point and try to get the ball over, and then eventually the ball went over, and then you get 2 points. I give you the 2 points, you were so happy. Because why? You felt the sense of achievement, right? The sense of achievement, no matter what, you just try. And not giving up and standing there and just look. And I will just give you the point. It's the same right in life. If you try, you don't give up. And then eventually, at the end of the year, you realize, I did very well for my exam. You'll find a sense of achievement. And this is resilience. This is resilience that I'm talking about.
So the teacher talk about transfer, resilience.
Okay,
outside the volleyball setting, okay, in the exam.
Okay.
In the exam, okay, if they are resilient, they probably will pass the exam, okay, even though they may not do well, previously. So when you start talking about this from one context, volleyball, to the exam classroom, you're helping the players to see the transfer of this particular life skill, which is very, very important. Because very often we do one things and then why people behave in other manner outside, because they don't see the connection. So the transfer become very, very important to do. So here are just some of the things we used before. You can use some of the transfer plan. Again, to engage the student or engage the parents after your teaching. So this is one. You can now with technology, you can use a Google form, whatever, put it inside, get the athletes to fill in what they want to do at home. Okay, today I learned about respect. Okay, these are the meanings, what I want to do at home, and then ask them to write down, okay, and then send the link to the parents, ask the parent to say, did you see your kids doing this or not? Yes or no, okay, and then you can check on the link to see whether this artist or student really demonstrate the transfer that they learn from one setting to another setting to check, okay, for as a PE teacher or as a coach. So this is one of the transfer plan. And you can also get them to discuss something with their parents and then write down some of these reflection. And then for you as a PE teacher or as a coach to check. And again, you don't need to do all these things for every lesson. This transfer plan is to make sure, number one, the student know that whatever thing I learn, I can use it somewhere else. And how I use it, I need to think about it, get them to think and to write how to do it in other contexts. That's number one. The other thing is whoever outside there, whether it's a parents or national federation, they know that you are doing this. They can support you by just checking, ticking, and say, yes, they have done this. So that then the kids know this thing is common in every area and everybody recognize this as important. The transferring currently, based on I know, is very weak. Okay, we don't involve other organization. We don't involve other people. So then this thing become, just one person doing, and sometimes people don't even do it. So to do it, as I said, very simple with the technology, Google link, whatever, or WhatsApp. Okay, just get the student to commit and write something about what they want to do and they really want to do it. And then get the people out there to just do one round of check. And then for you to say whether they are doing it or not. Okay, so that will actually reinforce the learning. You don't need to do for every lesson. You just need to do it randomly so that your student, your athletes know that you are paying attention to this, and then they'll be more forthcoming of doing all these things. Too often, okay, you will kill the interest. You go back to earlier things that you mentioned. People feel boring, people lack of interest. So this is the last part, okay, after talking all these things, how to evaluate. So there are two parts to evaluate. Okay, one, because you're dealing with student athletes, you need to measure whether they actually learn something from you or not. So whether they've learned something, you need to have at least, first of all, what really you want them to learn, what values, what life skill. Okay, so that one has to be very clear right from the start. And then you can use some of the questionnaire, you can use some of the verbalization during your ongoing debrief. You will teach respect today. At the end of the lesson, you ask them, what have you learned? They say, oh, respect. Respect means when someone is talking, they're able to articulate back to you. That shows that they actually learned something from a lesson today. Using the lesson, those are survey is maybe at the end of your program, at the end of the semester, you want to check, okay, there's a survey type that you can do for the student. For the coach yourself, of course, you need to have a plan, as we mentioned, okay, and then also ongoing checking your own behavior, okay, and whether you're following your own plan. So these are the two things we can evaluate. So specifically for the student, okay, we have this set of questionnaire. Okay, again, go in Google search for our name is all contextualized. This one we modified for Singapore population. Pro-social, anti-social behavior. So this one can use as a survey for student of your teaching. There are also some life skill survey that can use it. Okay, so if you have taught the life skill and values, go and look for all those available survey form. Pick those items that you want. You don't need to do everything. And then that will be a basis for you to check, okay, before teaching and after teaching effect. Okay, do the comparison. Okay, whether you're teaching any effect or not. For the coaches, okay, this is something that we developed. Okay, you can scan it if you want. Good for Google Play, Apple and Android. Okay, so this is really for the coaches to check your own teaching. Okay, whether are you exhibiting those very effective teaching behavior or not. So this is an application, mobile free of charge. So this is how it works. Basically, you key in the information and then everything will be automated. I'm going to show you one simple clip later on, but just understand how this thing functions. So this previously is just a paper and pen exercise, very manual, labor intensive. Then we use technology to automate it. So now everything is just, fully automated. What you need to do is just key in the class profile and the nature of the activity, and then the application will just run automatically to some extent. So how it works, you basically listen to what the coaches talk about the verbal instruction, and then based on the verbal instruction, we give a specific code, and then it will just code all your lesson, and then eventually it will give you a simple report. So I'm going to show you an application. So how it works. So basically, when you download the app, you will see this. So this is the first page. You key in the information here, your class, the group, what activity. It's a bit slow because I'm also trying to learn this screenshot. So once you go, you call this, it will bring you to this page. So this page, these are all the behavior predetermined. Okay, so predetermined, there's a list, okay, that you need to know what is this meaning of pre-instruction, so on and so forth. So once you're familiar with this, and then you're ready to code the lesson, then there's a start button. The moment I start, I listen to this clip.
Okay, I have to cut short the
And
last
then I
activity
just
timing.
follow this timing.
Okay, if you realize
Listen,
the last activity,
and then
when
code.
some of you, I
Whether it's
purposely
value.
give you 2 points. You know what's the reason? Huh? Sorry?
So
Nikki, what do you
questioning.
say? You try your best, right? When you try your best, when I see that there's effort, okay, even though my rule is you must spike, then I give you the point. But when I see that you try your best.
So basically how it works is every 5 seconds, it will ask you to listen. So you listen to what the coach is talking. And then after that, the green color will ask you to code. So based on the previous 5 seconds, you determine one suitable behavior and then you tap. And as you observe, when I start tapping, there are 2 options here. There are 3. One is with values, without values, and transfer. So if the last 5 seconds I heard is all about instruction, okay, all about skill, I will just choose this. If the coach, I choose this, values without, behavior without values. When I hear the coach talking about resilient, it's something about values. I just tap here, then you'll be coded. When I hear the coach talk about in life, okay, you can be used as resilient. This is transfer because it's beyond the setting. They talk about in life or in mathematics. So I code this accordingly. So you go on to just listen and then you code, and this thing will go on. And there's also this video function. When you see some very good moment and you want to really record the moment so that you can do a recap later on to show the coaches, to show the good behavior. Let me just come back again, the recording function. So you can see here, there's this recording here, right? So when I press record, I then can record the particular segment so that I can do a replay later on when I'm going to do a feedback to the coach. They know exactly what happened and then how he was talking at that moment. So record that session. At the end of the session, press one more time, the record function will be off. But at the same time, this coding has to continue. So this thing will go on. Then after you finish everything, it will actually give you this page. So from this page, if I want to view just now the particular segment, okay, that I actually record, I then select the particular segment and that segment will show me, the segment will show me some of the video that, let's run this thing. Okay, stop recording. So I'm recording the specific session now. I'm still recording, then the function stop. So the recording stop, and then I will get this thing. Okay, so this will be the report. Then I click this report. And I will see all these things here. Okay, so these are all those clips that I recorded for the particular session. If I want to replay that session, I just come here and click, and it will show you that session that's on particular behavior. Okay, how you praise during a segment, I can see. Okay, how you give poll instruction, good one or bad one, I can see. And then you will have this result segment overall, how many percentage in terms of values, questioning. So all these are behavior specific. And then I can click the statistic. So this one is the replay segment early on. Those are special moments that I saw, good or bad, I can show with them. And then I can also share the information via email or whatever platform I want to do so. Okay, so this is what I can do. So I can share with different platform. So this is what look like, okay, for the first generation. So with this, we are able to then produce a report to give to the coaches or whoever to then check the actual, what they actually plan versus actual. So in this case, we can make some comparison whether they are very close to the lesson plan or very far off, okay, as a guide. And these are all the behavior specification to guide them to see whether they are talking too much or they are asking questions or they are just silent most of the time. Of course, there are some behavior that are very ideal that we want to promote, and other behaviors such as scolding, silent, they are not, something that we hope to see from the coaches. So we did a study, okay, with 34 coaches just using this simple application. We code the session, and then we saw some very encouraging result. More importantly, now the coaches have a very concrete data set in front of them in terms of behavior, and then they can make some modification from one lesson to the next lesson. Okay, and this actually help them to improve their lessons and then to self-direct or to go and look for answer, to get better. So this is a publication. If you're interested, you can read based on the first generation application. So that one automated to a certain extent, but we still need people to code the behavior in order to get the report. So I'm going to show you the updated version. This is the AI version. Okay, it's ready for now. So this is how it works. So download the app, sign in, and then using the Google account, and then you create the session. So these are all the recorded session, okay, for you to track all your session. And then you can make some comparison, okay, if you want to. And then once everything is done, okay, you will finish the upload. So let me show you now how to create a sessions. Oh, the date, time, name, all these things like the previous first generation, the same. Now you need to key in the date, the time, so name, age, organization, and the age, we have different group of people. And here are the specific component, okay? The component I just want to highlight here, these are 4 important effective teaching component, and we're trying to make alignment to the Singapore teaching practice. but it's just a change of terminology. Is still aligned to most of the good teaching and coaching practices out there. So you key in based on what your plan in terms of percentage, add up should be 100%. And then you start the recording. So this phone itself is basically using the handphone microphone. So the phone has to be close to you in order to capture the verbal instruction. So you acknowledge, start recording, then AI will just record everything. Okay, once you have finished, you'll receive this and say, it's already done. And you will see this. You can select the report. And then the report will come out in a PDF form. So the classification, as I mentioned to you early on, this is based on, those are research good practices for effective teaching and coaching. We put some percentage for the coaches and teachers as a guide, okay, because this is good practice. You will spend too much time in terms of, those management, then that's problematic. This is the report output, okay. After you coded everything, this is the output you can get. Executive summary of your session based on the 4 components you have keyed in, how you perform, the good area and area for improvement, and then some of the things you can do. Okay, so these are the suggested strategy by the AI based on some of the background research work that we have done, and then we feed into the AI, then for AI to generate all this strategy. This chart is show you the plan and versus. So the moment you see this chart, you look at the first one, this is what you key in early on, and this is actually what happened. So by one look, you know that this plan and actual already have a big gap. And then you come to this guide and see what happened, okay? Whether you are talking too much, or you are silent too much, or your management time too much. Okay, so these are the specific behavior that show you exactly what happened during the sessions. So we did a study, okay, using the AI. And then this is just some of the protocol we have actually conducted. 2 data point, and then we just get the coaches to record over 4 sessions using the application, using the AI report on their own. And then we are able to see some good result over time. So just for recording over, 10 weeks, with 1 week interval, we already saw some improvement in terms of the plan and the gaps is already closed. And the student happy with the teaching and coaching approach, and in terms of student values and life skill has improved without having any special workshop. Okay, just let them use the application, read the report. And this chart just show you, okay, some of the additional information. We found that in order to teach the values and life skill well, when they are young, junior school is the best time to do this. And for those experienced coaches or teachers, they can do a better job as opposed to those novice coaches. So what we found that this application basically empower the educator, motivate them to take control of their learning because we didn't tell them what to do. They interact with the AI report. They decide what to absorb, what to learn, how to learn. They take full control. Okay, so with that, we saw the improvement, okay, which is very encouraging. Just some updates. So early on the report you saw there are some limitations. So after the study, we get some feedback from the participant. So this is the enhanced version. So if we are using the latest one, when it is done, we are able to see the Q&A, quality Q&A. So in short, if I'm keep on teaching communication, I debrief, I teach during my lesson. When I'm doing the debrief, I'm trying to draw something out from the student. If I'm able to hear from the student to say, oh, I learned communication, whatever, then there is a good informal assessment of your teaching or life skill in the particular lesson. So the AI right now able to churn out whether those interaction, okay, that you are getting from the student, whether are they able to respond to you effectively, okay, or just, you know, if you ask a lot, they cannot give you those life skill and that you actually taught them, then the lesson is not successful. This is what it means. Okay, so the AI will able to tell you this and also give you some, again, strategy to do so. We are also able to track the activity time now, because one of the problem or concern is that when I start teaching life skill, the activity time will be affected. So now with this AI, we are tracking now not just verbal, we are tracking the student movement now. So we are able to tell you this class, whether are they very active or they are just sitting down there or inactive most of the time. So I'm going to close the session. Basically, I think to do this piece, okay, to plan and then to evaluate, it has to be intentional. Okay, using technology help you to do some work in terms of lesson planning, you know, specific of the value lives you want to teach, the definition, and then also the transfer. And then, you know, using some of the evaluation tools. So the survey I show you, the two AI, the two application, you know, the first generation or second generation that we have, and also, you know, help people to be self-directed and learn through very informal lesson. Okay, this is the best way that people learn so far based on what we know. So with that, I think we stand a better chance, you know, to learn and to able to carry out life skill more effectively. So this is a slide that I want to conclude. Whatever thing we use, whether technology or life skill, okay, we need to make sure it's really in a real world setting to support PE teacher and coaches, you know, working and learning. So what I have is what I've actually developed. Of course, there are many out there. There are many technology out there. Okay, I think the message to you is that you need to know what are the technology out there available. Okay, how you can then select them to support your teaching and learning. The way to go forward is really use this technology, you know, and AI, those are information they're provided to support you as a PE teacher or coacher to be more effective. Not just helping students to be effective, but also help you to be effective so that then in turn you are more proficient in your teaching, you know, so that the student athletes can learn. Okay, and this is what, again, you know, hopefully through this sharing, we can inspire some of you to think about whether you want to be involved in the potential project that we're talking about. Okay, so you're interested, please go to your institution rep, or you can then write to me, or my email is there. Okay, then we can start the conversation. So with that, I finished my long part, you know, the last part, and back to you, Jadiel.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Kokontek. So this time, we would like to, of course, extend our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Dr. Kokontek for sharing to us this informative, highly informative, and inspiring presentation. So, indeed, today's session has demonstrated how technology and artificial intelligence can meaningfully support educators, especially in designing learning experiences and develop not only physical competence, but most importantly, are the values, the character, and the essential life skills. Where in fact, we can relate this to the Philippine context because right now we are focusing more on life skills, but it's really up to the teachers' innovativeness as to how we are going to embed also PE in that life skill subject. No? So this time we are adjusting. Thank you so much, Dr. Kokontek. And now we have the second set of Q&A. So I know others are very excited to ask their questions. Let me read first the two questions that we have here in our chat box, Dr. Kokontek. This is coming from Ferry. Our current challenge is that approaches and cultures vary from country to country. While it is easy to manage a class where students are focused, and there are many schools, particularly in rural areas, that require a different touch. So one can simply dive straight into the curriculum and let alone administer tests and also measurements. So the students struggle to maintain focus. That is the root of the problem right now. So in my view, that's according to Ferry, the core issues lie in the students' intent, motivation, and focus. How do we cultivate these qualities? So he was asking about intent, motivation, and focus. So allow me to read the second one. Respect can be
Maybe can we just take one at a time before I
okay,
forget?
Doc. Okay, Doc.
Okay.
Sige,
Okay,
Doc.
I think the key is, okay, as an educator, to me, this is my philosophy, okay? If students don't learn, I fail my teaching. I say again, this is my philosophy. If students don't learn, I need to think hard about my teaching. So if the student is not motivated, you need to ask why. Why are they not motivated? Is it something wrong with my teaching? Or is it something wrong with them? So based on my experience as a PE teacher, because as a PE teacher, as a teacher, researcher, we know that learner not motivated, there are many reasons. And one of the main reason is about us. It's about how we teach the lesson. So imagine today, 3 hours or 2 hours, I ask you to sit down there and just listen to me. Of course, you will be disengaged. So I engage you every now and then. I give you something. I give you Mentimeter. I give you this and that. That you know, okay, maybe you are still following. Not all of you are following, but at least you follow to some extent. So my question back to you is, do you know why students are not interested? You need to go and find out. You need to talk to them. Is it because your content is too heavy, or is it because there are too many problems of your student? I can be very sure in a class of 40, there will be maybe 5%, 10% people are not interested. No matter what you do, they are not interested. I can acknowledge. But the rest of the 30%, they are keen to learn for sure. So if a lot of them are not interested, highly likely is the teacher's problem, not the student problem. Again, this is not just my view based on the research we know. So the more important thing is, why are they disengaged? Early on, I give you an example, right? Why are people interested or sick about learning the value of life skill? You say they are not interested. Why? You need to know why. Because you are just getting them to listen to what I'm talking. I tell you what to do. People don't like to be told. Then what are the strategy? You told me that get them to be engaged. Yes, you use the activity. You use the thing that they like. To something that they like, then you draw the experience, get them to think, get them to learn. Then they'll be motivated. Then they'll be more engaged. So I think that is the key thing. First is about reflecting what went wrong by asking the student, why are they not interested? Also reflecting about your teaching. Are they in particular PE and sports? Okay, if a lesson of an hour, they spend 40 to 50% of the time sitting and listening to you, of course they'll be disengaged. I will disengage because it's supposed to be fun, supposed to be running, playing. But I'm listening to you teach me how to do this thing, and your instruction is so long. Okay, so please go and find out why are they disengaged and reflect on your teaching.
Is open
Okay.
questions now?
There's a second one, right, Chadia?
Yes.
This is actually about the idea a while back we discussed about respect. From University of St. La Salle, Bacolod, Philippines. He was adding this idea that respect can be learned through this activity because it teaches a life skill for real life. Basketball shows that we should respect others while trying to reach our goals. Winning is important, but it should never means of hurting or stepping other people. In short, we teach children to do what is right, and whether they are the attacker or the defender. So this is actually an additional idea the one that we have discussed a while back. This is
Okay.
coming from, yes.
I just want to pick up this thing and reinforce one important point, okay? PE and sports have all the opportunity to teach values and life skills. But if you just let them do the activity without facilitating the experience and debrief, it still remain an activity. So there's a difference between intentional or just waiting to be caught. It's different. Okay, so based on our work, a lot of them, yeah, you will ask the teacher, yeah, this activity can teach this. Is very clear. But they fail to actually articulate and facilitate that experience with the student to reinforce the learning. That is a piece that is actually missing. There's a piece that I want all of us to pay attention. Just now the activity, there are a lot of learning opportunity. But if I don't stop the activity, facilitate the experience, draw the experience, facilitate the debrief, there's no learning. It is just a 3-on-2 activity. Even though in your lesson plan is clearly articulated, it's not communicated. So at the end, when you start asking what have you learned, student cannot articulate because you didn't facilitate that part. Okay, so to me, that is the key.
Yes, you're exactly right, Doc. There are also factors that we need to consider, not only for the student factor, but also the teacher factor too. Thank you so much for that, Doc. There is one request here, Doc, from Lyceum of the Philippines University. Can how can you how can they have this QR code for the application, the one that you shared?
Okay, as I mentioned that the first slide, call to action. First, you are interested, go to a university lab prep because we are doing this APES joint project. There's a whole idea of having this online thing. So we create awareness, right? There's this thing going on. So if you are a PE teacher or you are coaches, okay, and you want to be, you're interested, I think then that's where we can then get you on board, to learn about this thing. Then we can track, we can do it as a research project. So the quick response is go back to your individual institution rep to let them know your interest, and then the access will be through the APES, rep to get this. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Doc. Yes, sir. From LPU, right now we have also a collaboration research work with Dr. Kokontek using this application, but we are still expressing our intention to be his partner for this research endeavor. So, from LPU po, you can reach us and also directly to Dr. Kokontek so that you can have the how can you use this application in your school. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
the AI app is very new. We have not launched it. Okay. We are doing the enhancement. So if you ask me, I'm very excited because I don't see this kind of app available out there. And I developed the app myself with some NTU students. Okay, because we are practitioners. So I think for now is to really make sure the app is workable, and then we go on to the research project, and then we collect evidence, and then we inform the doing. Okay, I'm not too rushed to just rush this thing and just trying to, make it so fanciful. Okay, let's get people to be interested, and then get on to the working part, collect evidence, inform our practice, and then we can then move on from there.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Dr. Kokontek. So those who are interested with this, kindly direct contact to Dr. Kokontek. You can actually, we will be sharing his contact, also his email. Right now, we have one from Mindanao State University, Naawan Campus, who is also our graduate student, Miss Sachi Medina. Go ahead, Miss Sachi.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's such a privilege to be part of this seminar workshop webinar. So allow me to have my question. So am I audible enough?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for responding. Okay, for my question, Doc Contact. So, among the 6 levels, so since you've showed us earlier the 6 levels of life skills continuum engagement by Dean et al. Of 2018, which is very nice as you've discussed each of the levels. But among the 6 levels, which do you consider the most challenging for teachers or coaches to implement, and what strategies can be employed to overcome these challenges?
Very good question. Thank you. The most challenging one will be 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. Okay, which I think right now, that's why you see I spend quite a bit of time trying to guide you all through that whole process. And actually, it's not that difficult. Okay, you don't need to go and attend 20, 30 training. It's quite easy in a sense when you start doing it. Of course, it's going to be quite challenging for a start. What we are seeing now based on our work, okay, when you ask people, are you doing it? They say yes. A lot of them, they are just at the level 1 and 2. So they open our lesson. Today, we're going to focus on this. That's it. And you don't see any facilitation throughout. So because there isn't any facilitation, when you ask a student whether you carry out research, they cannot articulate, which is expected. So my quick response is the 1 and 2 easy to do. Okay, the 3, 4, 5, that's why we need to pay attention. It's not difficult to do because you already plan something, right? So once you plan, you execute. Plan just how you're teaching the skill. Now, besides teaching the skill, I need to integrate. So when I do a debrief, I debrief the skill. I also debrief a bit of the life skill. And not every lesson is life skill or value lesson. It's still the skill teaching lesson. But whenever appropriate, I put the values life skill so that people learn this in a very natural way. Okay, so the 3, 4, 5 is where we need to pay more attention. Okay, of course, the last one is, is you cannot see it for now because that's where maybe 5, 10 years later, they come back and say, oh, maybe I learned this thing from Sachi, the whatever thing. Okay, but at least for now, what we can see from level 1 to level 5, we can see this thing. And since you're on that question, it's also important to manage your expectations. Some of you just now, you say you have different profile, coaches, teacher, different ability. So if you believe this is important, those starting 0, no knowledge, don't expect too much from them. Okay, level 1 to start off. Okay, at least you emphasize this thing. When you become habit, let's move on to level 2. So that's how you move individual based on their ability from one level to next level, and you know when to move. When I see this thing, you're very proficient, let's try the next level. You can move them up and down. So that 6 level actually help a lot, at least at the administrator level.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc, for that
Welcome.
very
Welcome.
insightful response. Thank you so much. I will bear that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sachi, and also to Dr. Kokontek. So I would like to share what are some comments of here in our chat box, Dr. Kokontek. Actually, one is actually giving praise to the application that you have shared to everybody. And from Silliman University, Sir Drilon, he was actually expressing his sincere thanks and gratitude because he has learned so many great things for today's online workshop. So aside from the impressions, are there any questions? More questions? Actually, we are really hitting our timeline for our online workshop, and I could definitely say that we are really hitting and following our timeline. More questions?
I think no questions. No more question now.
No more questions. And with that, we would like to give our warmest thanks and gratitude to Dr. Kokontek. Shall we give him a virtual applause, please? Your reaction, your heart, your Big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Dr. Kokontek. Indeed, this afternoon, though we only have half-day session, but we are now full of substance, especially about skills. And these are very, very important, not only to us, but to more importantly to our learners. And with that, also, we would like to um, inform everybody to please fill in the form, the e-certificate questions that we have here. For you to have your e-certificate, kindly check this link that we have here. And this will be the basis of giving the e-certificate. And thank you so much again, Dr. Kokontek. And allow me to invite all of you this coming October um, October 14 to 16, the 12th ASEAN Council of Physical Education and Sports International Conference with the theme Active Learning for a Sustainable Future, Integrating AI and Sports Science, Physical Education, Recreation, and Holistic Health. The conference will be held on October 14 to 16, 2026 in the city of Bangkok, Thailand, and will be proudly hosted by the Faculty of Physical Education, Sports and Health of Srinagarmirot University, Thailand. So this international gathering will feature distinguished keynote speakers like Dr. Kokontek, scientific paper presentations. We have also paper discussions, networking opportunities, global research collaborations, and of course, the latest innovations in physical education, sports science, recreation, health, and artificial intelligence. So we are actually inviting the researchers, no, to submit their original research papers and become part of this exciting international academic community. And we are actually looking forward to seeing all of you in Bangkok this October. And I think the deadline at the submission of the research abstract still ongoing until June 30. So you still have time to submit, and we will be seeing you. And you can also see in person Dr. Kokontek and other ACPES board members. Yun. So I hope you were able to access the link for your e-certificate. Okay? So at this point of time, we will be also hearing some say something from our key persons, from Dr. Arda, Dr. Liliana, Dr. Wanaporn, and also Dr. Charya, or some reflection about the topic that we have for today before we will end our online workshop.
Thank you, Dr.
Anyone?
Cheda.
Yes, go ahead, Doc.
Good morning and good afternoon for all of our friends and partners, distinguished speakers, respected participants, colleagues, and friends. As we come to the end of today's workshop, on behalf of organizing committee, we would like to express our sincere appreciation, especially to our keynote speaker today, Professor Koh Kuntek, for sharing his expertise and inspiring of planning, implementing, and evaluating values and life skill in physical education and sport programs supported by technology and AI. We also extend our appreciation to all participants from different institutions and countries for the active contribution, thoughtful question, and enthusiasm to the session. As the report for the participants, today there are 159 active participants coming in the Zoom session and 120 participants participating in YouTube live streaming. So your engagement have made this workshop a meaningful platform for learning, collaboration, and professional growth. This workshop is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of continued collaboration, innovation, and lifelong learning. We look forward to meeting you again in the future, especially in Bangkok on AdPress workshop. Once again, thank you for your participation and support. Stay healthy, keep inspiring, and continue making a positive impact through education. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and see you at the next event.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adra. So, thank you also for your generosity for sharing to us your resources in your university. Thank you so much for that, Doc. Okay, anyone also from Dr. Liliana? Doc?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity this today. Maybe can we I will see you in Aspect in Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you. Thank you, Ko.
Yes, thank you
Dr. Ko,
so
thank you.
much. We are really excited, no, to invite all of you to be there in the 12th APES International Conference. So at this point of time, kindly open your cameras for our photo opportunity.
Ikut. Kenapa? Apa? Saya di balik layar aja.
Let's have our group photo. And I believe
You're in silent, ma'am.
oops. Dr. Adha, you can take the screenshot and we have actually seven or six groups. Just smile and smile.
There are, yeah, please keep smile, everyone. 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right, second group, 1, 2, 3, cheese. The last group, 1, 2, 3, cheese. Excellent, everyone. And return it back to you, Dr. Chedo.
Okay, thank you so much. So, yes, we would like to thank all of you also for joining us today. So, to formally close today's workshop, it is my pleasure to invite our representative from the ACPES Organizing Committee to deliver the closing remark. May I respectfully invite Associate Professor Dr. Achara from Kasitsart University, Thailand, the Vice President of ACPES for Project Development, at the same time, the project head of this online workshop. Go ahead, Dr. Achara.
Thank you, Dr. Chanel. Is beautiful MCs today. So again, good morning, distinguished guests, our experts, colleagues, and participants. As we come to the end of today's workshop, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who contribute to the success of these events. First and foremost, my sincere appreciation goes to Associate Professor Kuntex, or my best friends, and he will be the former Express president on the last series. So for sharing his valuable knowledge, expertise, and practical insights in terms of the how to plan, annex, and evaluate values and life skills based on PE and sport programs supported by technologies and AI. Your experience presentation has provided us with many innovations ideas that I believe participants can apply in their own teachings and professional practice. So I also would like to extend my sincere thanks to all our partners institutions for their excellent collaborations and continuous support in organizing the workshops. My special thanks go to UNES Dr. Adha and his staff for hosting today's online meetings, and to all members for the organizing committees whose dedications and teamwork made this wonderful. To all participants, thank you for your active participants, thoughtful questions, and enthusiasm throughout the workshops. I hope that the knowledge and experience sharing today will inspire you to integrate technology and AI into physical education and sports programs as well that promote values and life skills amongst learners. Before we conclude, please remember we complete the workshop evaluation form and you might have e-certificate letters. Your feedback is highly valuable and will help us improve our future activities. So participants who complete the evaluations will receive the e-certificate letter. Once again, thank you for joining us today. I wish you continued success and look forward to meeting you again in the future ACPES activity and ACPES conference coming soon on October. With that, I would like to officially declare the workshops closed. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much,
Okay.
Dr. Achara, our very dynamic and active Vice President for Project Development of ACPES. Thank you so much, Doc. And on behalf of the ASEAN Council of Physical Education Sports, our collaborating institutions, thank you so much for your active participation in today's international online workshop. May today's learning inspire us to continue creating meaningful, values driven, technology enhanced physical education and sports. And that would definitely have a positive impact towards our learners and the communities throughout Asia and beyond. We wish everyone continual success, good health, and safe days ahead. And once again, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at the 12th ACPES International Conference in Bangkok, Thailand. Have a very wonderful day, everyone, and thank you so much. And goodbye to everyone. Daghang salamat. Thank you so much. Terima kasih.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Doc.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very
Thank you,
much.
friends.
Thank you so
Bye-bye. Thank you
much.
so
Bye-bye.
much.
This is ACPES.
We exactly finish at
See you next.
11:59. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.